Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale with a really special first-time guest. It is KairosTime, one of my favorite YouTubers out there. Kairos, welcome to the channel, man.
Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Dude, I am excited to have you on. I've always wanted to have you on ever since I fell in love with your channel after your acapella Clash Royale theme song, man. I love that. I love that.
Hey, glad that you loved it, man. You can look forward to another video coming out, something similar to that in the future.
Nice, man. I love seeing creative and original things in the game. So I'll link that for you guys in case you missed it. But it was definitely something you'll want to check out if you like a little acapella or you like originality. So, but that's not exactly. We're not here just to talk acapella. We're here to talk about this deck that you shared with me that you've now won 12 challenges in a row with. That's pretty beast mode. And you're a guy, I think you said that you average what, like 7 wins usually in a challenge normally?
Well, it kind of depends. It depends on the deck. I'd mess around with all sorts of decks for my YouTube channel. So if I'm playing serious, I'll usually get about 10 wins. And then if it's a grand challenge, I'm usually about 8 or 9, just kind of depending on what's going on.
Okay, and you've been on a hot. So this deck you feel is you know on another level. At least it fits you. It suits your play style at least, at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you did also you did a spotlight on the deck on your channel, a whole deck review, and you did one for did a write up on the deck, excuse me, for ClashRoyaleArena.com. I'll include the links to those as well in the description if you want more supplemental material on the deck. But you know what better place to start with just giving us a little rundown on the deck. I have it up on my battle deck right now. So in this episode, we'll do a quick deck synopsis. You can break it down, tell us what we're going to be doing with it. Then we'll hop into a replay or two, see some 12-win rematch or replays, excuse me, and then we'll hop into a live match each. So sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. So first thing you want to take a look at with this deck, guys, it's a beatdown deck, but it is a 3-crown master. In those 12 challenges that I ended up facing in my opponents, out of those 12 rounds, 7 of them on average were 3 crowns, which is just crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, it really is crazy, and a lot of those actually happen at that last 12th round. The reason why this deck works so well is because there's a whole lot of synergy between the 3 win conditions. You have the Pekka as a primary win condition. You have the Battle Ram kind of as a secondary win condition, but also a good standalone if I need it to be. And then the Bandit as a semi-win condition. All 3 of them work really well with that Baby Dragon and the Zap to really just put your opponent into some tough situations.
Yeah, it looks like a lethal deck, and you're really playing this in kind of a strictly beatdown fashion. I mean, this is a classic beatdown. You have that splash damage like you talked about in the Baby Dragon supporting your tank or your Battle Ram, whatever. And talk a little bit about the Bandit in this deck. What is her role in the deck, and is there a good recommendation that you might have for people who might not have unlocked her yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Bandit, well, first of all, for those that don't maybe have it unlocked, I've had some success switching out the Bandit for the Lumberjack and then replacing the Mega Minion for the Dark Goblin, kind of to cover bases a little bit. But if you do have the Bandit, definitely have her in there. She, in my opinion, is, at least for this deck, she's kind of like a mini Lightning. I use her to kind of get rid of executioners or electro wizards or like musketeers, things like that would do a lot of damage to my Pekka or might prevent my Battle Ram from getting to the tower. And she just kind of jumps in there, snipes them out, and kind of adds an additional level of support. You can also use her to rush the other lane if you feel like your opponent might not be able to defend her and a regular push down your other lane as well. You'll see a replay on that later on.
And how does this deck do against Lava Loon decks? It seems like that might be a weakness a little bit.
You know, absolutely. So the thing with Lava Loon is that Lava Loon tries to take advantage of a deck that might not have so much anti-air. This deck is similar, but it's not so much anti-air. It's trying to take advantage of decks that do not have enough damage output to be able to get rid of a Pekka, as well as a Baby Dragon, Mega Minion, and the Battle Ram. Honestly, when it comes to playing Lava Loon, you're guaranteed to lose towers almost always on both sides. But this deck does a lot better of a job at defending against the Lava Loon while putting a ton of pressure on the opposite lane with either the Pekka, if you have the Elixir, or the Battle Ram paired up with the Zap.
Okay, great. That does make sense. A lot of people don't, fully grasp that sometimes your best defense against Lavaloon is just having a really powerful offense to match that Lavaloon, combination.
Absolutely.
I just turned on the first replay here, so we're just going to watch a little bit. But as we do, I kind of wanted to ask you, this is something that I have actually never asked anybody before, but it kind of strikes me as it perhaps be useful to viewers out there, and that would be, can you talk about where and when do you play your win conditions in this deck? Like the Pekka, I imagine he's going to be mostly played behind the King Tower. Are there any circumstances where you're going to play him more aggressively at the bridge?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a really great question. Part of mastering this deck is really knowing where and when to place a Pekka down, actually. I never start out with just a Pekka unless my opponent plays like a giant or a golem in the very far back, or even a royal giant. And my Pekka is a great way. I think it was Woody that said in the arena of kings or of of really heavy tanks, basically, that the Pekka or the queen rules the arena or something like that.
Yeah.
So putting the Pekka to try and get rid of really big tanks is a really great way to do it. If they put them in the back, then I'll put my Pekka in the very far back. But if they put it at the front, like a royal giant, I'll straight out just put my Pekka right in front of that royal giant's face, right there.
All right.
And another situation that's a little different is if I'm playing a Hog Rider deck, I might even just place my Hog Rider or my Pekka right in front of my tower. If they have a Hog Rider coming down, as long as they don't have freeze or something like that, then that will stop a Hog Rider super quickly, and then require a strong defense to be able to get rid of my counter push.
Okay, so Pekka, you're playing pretty. It's kind of like a flex card in a way. It can take down the heavy tank, or it can be played at the bridge if you need it. You're not afraid to use it. How about the Battle Ram? Is that a card that you're mostly playing at the bridge as a surprise attack card, or is that a card that sometimes you will play in the back?
I almost never place a Battle Ram in the very far back. I feel the Battle Ram is so fast that you can't really build up a solid push with it, and it gives your opponent plenty of time to defend. Yeah. Exactly. Unless they might have Skeleton Army in their deck, then I can expect them to prepare with that Skeleton Army and then have my Zap ready. But I don't usually do that. Usually the Battle Ram is used to place right in front of the Pekka if my opponent has the Inferno Tower. That'll almost always clear the Inferno Tower and allow my Pekka to get to the tower. Or if my opponent is really going heavy on one side and I know that I can defend on that side, then I'll just place down the Battle Ram supported with the Baby Dragon on the other lane and try and take a tower like that. If they don't have the right cards, then the Battle Ram's really hard to stop.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see that right now. You just pull off a 3 crown as you say that. So very well done for the 12 victory there. And I guess one last card I wanted to ask about the placement is the Bandit. You already talked that she's kind of like your Lightning. She's going to support your Pekka, especially if they're playing like that E-Wiz or the Executioner or Musketeer, whatever, those kind of ranged, mid to low HP units. Are you playing her? When are you playing her behind the Pekka at all times? Are you just rushing at the bridge? When and where are you playing the Bandit in this deck most often? Yeah, so it definitely depends on your opponent's deck. It really does. I mean, that's one big thing when you're playing any deck is to adapt to your opponent's deck. But the Bandit, a lot of times, I might even place her right in the very middle of the arena, right in front of the river, so that she can like jump forward and maybe be a little bit closer to defending troops. If you watch that second 12-win replay, I believe that you'll see me using right
her.
Now. Okay,
perfect.
Cool. Awesome.
And so I'll do that. Sometimes I'll put her right next to my tower if my opponent's about to play, like if they have like a Musketeer that's going down on my tower or something like that, so that she can get rid of that Musketeer from a distance and then go for a counter push. The Bandit plays a lot of different roles, so it's hard to say just one thing that I do most of the time. She moves around.
Yeah, you're kind of using her as a knight in some situations when you need, like you just said, against that Musketeer on your tower. And it's a pretty lethal counterattack, more lethal than the knight would be. Mm-hmm. And you're also using her as support in a lot of situations as well. Does that sound about it right?
Yep, exactly.
Cool. So tell us about the tempo of this deck. What are you trying to do in the first 2 minutes? And how does that change when you get to double elixir time? Yeah, so during the first 2 minutes, I am trying to figure out what kind of deck my opponent has. If they have a control deck, then I need to be a lot more careful about kind of like
playing around whatever cards they have. If they have a beatdown tech, I feel very confident in being able to just save and be able to place down my Pekka to try and take out their win condition. Really, most of the time, though, I'm trying to get down pumps in the first 2 minutes and maybe doing some counter pushes with the Battle Ram, the Bandit, and the Baby Dragon, just kind of depending on what's going on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, so you're playing it, I mean, it's essentially just like the Golem Baby Dragon beatdown deck that everybody played, you know, or in the E-Wiz, where you're just trying to pump up, protect the pump, and then you cash in on that huge push, right? Is that sound about right?
Yeah, that is exactly right. The one thing that is a little bit different with this deck, though, is that there are a lot of times where I'll actually already have taken a tower simply because of strong counter pushes with the Bandit, Battle Ram, and Baby Dragon, even before I ever lay down the Pekka. And then they see the Pekka and they're like, oh shoot, what is this?
Right. And you're seeing, you did a pretty good job in this replay too of, I found it interesting, obviously you're not with me exactly on the replay, but you attacked the other lane, even though there was a Baby Dragon and a Golem coming down in one of your lanes, knowing that you could rely on that Pekka to, even though you were going to lose the tower there, you knew you would shut down the push before it did any extra damage to your King Tower there.
Yep, that's absolutely right. One really great thing about this deck is that you can definitely go the other lane, but it's very important for anybody playing this deck to learn how to use your tower's health as a resource. Meaning sometimes if a Hog Rider's coming down to my tower, sometimes, I mean, I don't do this all the time, but sometimes I'll even just let the Hog Rider take down a tower so that I can build up enough of a push to go down the other lane, and there's nothing that there. Usually Hog Rider decks aren't strong enough to be able to clear this type of a deck if I've saved my elixir enough. Okay.
And what about the last in double elixir time? Are you just more aggressive but the same type of philosophy?
Yeah. In the last, during double elixir, I'm more apt to just place down Pekkas and try and get them down, build up a push. Sometimes I will get a little greedy and just try and go for the 3 crown right off the bat, or if I think that I can make it. Usually that's not the smartest thing to do, but this is a 3 crown deck. Yeah. I can farm so many crowns doing it, but yeah, if I'm smart, then I'll usually place down the Pekka down in the very far back in the lane that they're more likely to try and attack.
All right, cool. Well, do you want to hop into a match and then I'll go right after you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
You want me to do a challenge or?
Yeah, whatever you. I mean, I'm not sure what level your Bandit is, but I'm sure it's probably not the best on this deck. At least for me, this deck wouldn't be the best on ladder with the Bandit in there because mine's still level 1. Still,
yep,
I unlocked her in the challenge, and then I haven't got her since. You know.
That's right. Cool. So I'm live here. So starting off, I have the elixir pump in my hand, so it's very obvious for me to be able to put that elixir pump down here. I imagine you want me talking about the different strategies that I'm doing while I'm playing. Is that right?
Yeah, that'd be great. And you know, I'll chime in with some questions. One thing is, I noticed that you put the elixir pump behind the tower. Do you prefer that instead of in front of the King Tower?
Yeah, you know, it really depends. I'm worried about situations like this where I have a graveyard possibly coming down to the tower. In fact, right now, he's going to definitely get some damage onto my tower, but at least I'm cycled back to the pump. Mm-hmm. I am going to go with a little bit of a bandit push right here.
Keep him honest.
Yeah, he has more elixir than I do, so I'm actually not in a great situation right now. But that's okay. I mean,
yeah, that's the beauty of a 3 crown deck too. That's definitely not the start you wanted, but it's not like game over like it is with some decks, or you know, it's not the deficit that some decks would be.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, really what I'm trying to do is I want to try and place the pump in the very far back. I'm going to let that Mega Minion take a couple of swipes at my tower. Once again, use my tower's health as a resource. Mm-hmm. Because I'm behind, I kind of need that extra elixir to be able to build up some type of a push.
Exactly. That's a really important point when you talk about using the tower as a resource, because you don't want to over defend, and especially with any 3 crown deck. When you have that power deck, I mean, it's a big mistake sometimes to, you know, defend every little HP, because you're trying to win 3 crowns more often than not. 3 crowns to whatever, 2 or 1. Not necessarily every match. Like you said, 7 matches. That's a huge average of 3 crowns. So good job with that Pekka there, distracting.
Yeah, so I was worried about his bowler tanking for a graveyard. Yep. And so that's why I decided to do that. I had my little Goblin Gang. Sorry, I'm focusing so much right here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's very difficult.
Had my Goblin Gang ready to go in case he did put that down, but now he does not. That bowler does not have the hit points to be able to do anything really. I'm hoping that Baby Dragon will lock onto my my Pekka, which it just did, and here we've got a little bit of a weird situation. I know this is super weird putting that ram down the other lane, but he's got to focus on defending one of those.
Beautiful.
And I wanted him to be able to really put into that tough situation right there where he wasn't sure what he was going to do.
Very well done there. I like that because... but the one thing about this deck is you don't have that fireball, you know? You don't have that lightning, so you still have to get, you know, damage onto that left tower.
Yes, that is for sure. I put that bandit right there. I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it to that tower. I do have to be careful, but I just need to cycle back to my zap.
Yeah, one zap.
And then I'm all set. We'll just put that battle ram right here.
You made it look easy, Kairos.
I was hoping for a 3-crown, right? That's okay though.
Well, you know what? You know what the turning point there though is honestly when you got that pump down and you took some damage onto that right tower. So I think it just goes to show you guys out there that, you know, especially with a beatdown deck, it's really important to know when to take that damage.
Absolutely.
All right, my turn.
Okay, let's do this.
Results for you. Okay, I'll start a fresh grand challenge. I have my deck selected. I am ready to go.
You got this, man. I believe in you. I'll give you some pro tips while you're going.
Sweet. Right. So here we go. Good luck. I'm in. So my starting hand is Pekka Bandit, Battle Ram, Zap. What would you do in this starting hand? Interesting.
Did you say... Sorry, I can't see quite yet. Did you say Mega Minion?
No. Battle Ram, Bandit, Zap.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Okay. I played Bandit. I had no idea what to do, but you're right. I should have probably just waited there.
No, you're totally fine. You know, you don't want to leak too much elixir. You want to keep up an advantage there.
Yeah, this is weird. I'm just going to play like an aggressive Battle Ram there. See what he does. Ah!
Oh, so close.
Yeah. All right. We'll play Goblin Gang in the middle here. I'm leaking a little bit again, unfortunately, but I'm going to Baby Dragon there. I'm going to take some hits, I think.
Yeah, that's okay.
Zap there. Yeah, I take a little bit of damage to the right there. Finally got the elixir pump cycled into my hand.
Very good.
But I think I'm down elixir at this point, so...
I could tell you.
Wait, yeah, you can tell me, but I'm pretty sure I am a little bit. Or either that or very tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to play the bandit here. I don't want to take too much damage, and then I'll play elixir pump.
Cool.
So far, all right. I mean, obviously, nothing's crazy. Nothing crazy is happening so far, but
yeah. And now that his tombstone's out of rotation, and if you need to rush the other lane, you definitely can with that the barbarian or the battle ram.
Battle ram, yeah. Okay, so here's a giant, and I'm going to assume a graveyard's going to come, so this is trouble here for me. I'm going to have to just take a lot of damage. I might lose the tower.
If you have Zap...
I don't.
Well, that's okay. Yep, take the damage. You have a pump down, and
I'm going to keep the Pekka alive here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so yeah, I still don't feel that bad about this, because I get the pump successfully down, and like you said, 3-crown deck... I feel all right. So here, would you go super aggressive here, or would you just let it die? And pump
again? With that Musketeer, if the Musketeer wouldn't have been there, then I probably would have gone more aggressive. I'd go the other lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can put a Mega Minion, well, just wait. Just wait.
Die.
There we go.
I'm going to let that Musketeer just do damage. Not too worried. I'm going to put a Pekka at the bridge.
That's a good call.
Need to go aggressive here at this point.
Yeah, and... sometimes putting that... Yep, there you go. With that Baby Dragon, you're all set.
Yep. So we are unloading here, trying to cash in on the elixir advantage that we do have before he kills my units here. I'm going to zap there. Just trying to buy some time for those barbarians. Again, going super aggressive here, but have really no choice.
Yeah. He did put you in a tough situation there at the very beginning.
Yeah. It looks like I'm going to lose this one, unfortunately, but... maybe we can watch it and see where I went wrong, other than... I think it was really... I mean, when he took my tower, I just... maybe I shouldn't have played that Maybe I shouldn't have played that Pekka there on the giant. Maybe I should have tried something else there.
Yeah, thinking back to it, I wasn't sure 100% what was in your deck, but Graveyard does a lot more damage per second than the Giant does. I would have tried maybe trying to cover that area. It doesn't seem like he had any area removal, like a super great area removal spell.
Yeah, like I'm gonna play the replay back here. I just shared it in chat. And cool. I'm just going to see that one little spot there. Because I think that other than that, everything was pretty much all right. I mean, obviously, not happy with the result. But I think that everything other than that one point in the battle is probably where I could have gone much differently.
Yeah, no, I completely understand what you mean. I mean, anytime anybody's learning a new deck, I can't even tell you how many times I've picked up a deck from your channel specifically. I think there was a Furnace Poison deck that you had a pro give recently, and I think that I failed my first like 3 matches, and then I started to get a hang of it, ended up winning a challenge with it. But
yeah, no, it's always like that, you know. It's funny too, because you see in the comments that some people are like, oh my God, 12 wins. And some people are like, dude, 0-3. And it's just like, well, I always want to ask, like, well, did you play more than just those 0-3? And how long did it take you to get those 12 wins, you know?
You're like, you need to watch the whole video.
Exactly. It goes both ways. So, yeah, I'm paused here at 129, and you can see exactly where I went wrong here. I think this is pretty much it. So he has the Giant coming down my lane right now, and I have only 5.5, 6 elixir. I wait for the Pekka, just a really bad move now looking back, and I kind of identified it earlier because I could have played the Baby Dragon in the back, and I could have played the Goblin Gang on the Giant. I would have taken a lot of damage, but I wouldn't have lost my tower, I don't think, you know?
Well, yeah, and he did have Zap, but the Zap doesn't completely get rid of those Goblin, or all of those Goblins, so I think that you're probably right, placing that Baby Dragon in the back, and then I think that would have been
the Pekka, it was tower down, no matter what, you know?
Yep.
And I would have lost the Pekka if I didn't use Zap again. So basically, for me, it was a 9 elixir investment to do what, you know, to have a half healthy Pekka alive. So I think that was the mistake, really. And then who knows? I think if I didn't have to play super aggressive because I lost my tower from there on out, I could have just pumped up again right now instead of having to go like hard in the other lane. So I think that was just my one big mistake there. But let me do one more, try to redeem myself. Is that cool?
Yeah, please do.
All right. So what am I doing here? All right. How are you enjoying the clan battle? It just started today.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun, man. I love clan battles. I don't think that I even got any crowns last time because I was just clan battling. And when I say crowns, I mean chess. Dude, I didn't mean that.
It's so addicting. It's so addicting. So he had the hog coming there. Did pretty well with it. I have another kind of strange starting hand here. I have Baby Dragon, Battle Ram. I'm just going to have to zap those. I had Baby Dragon, Battle Ram, Pekka, and now I finally get to my Elixir Pump. So again, not an ideal starting hand here. I'm going to play the Elixir Pump behind the tower. I know he's playing Hog Rider. He doesn't have it in cycle yet, though, which is good. He opts to Fireball my Elixir Pump. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
So now what would you do? I have Pekka, Battle Ram, Baby Dragon, Mega Minion.
You know, I would, he's got to be cycled. Mega Minion. Oh, there you go. That works out.
I probably should have played him a little bit. He'll still get like 2 hits off here. So that's not good, but 3 hits.
Yeah, sometimes in the very beginning, the first 2 minutes, if I'm playing a Hog Rider, I'll just put the Mega Minion in front of my tower. So the Hog Rider will still get hits on the tower, but my Mega Minion will end up clearing it, and then I can cycle back to my pump. Put the Battle Ram down the other lane if you can.
Okay. Screw that up too.
No, that's all good. But you did get the bandit there, so that's good.
I got bandit to tower. Get a little bit of damage done.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
If you have an Inferno Tower, we know that they have an Inferno Tower in the deck. Next time you have a Pekka that's ready to go down the lane, you know that he is going to end up using that Inferno Tower. So make sure that you put the Battle Ram down the other lane on the inside of the bridge so that it's closer towards the middle so that it should be more likely to get there. If I were you, I might actually just let that let him take that tower and go for a... No, I would go for a push. I would put a Pekka in the very back.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, here it is. So I'm going to be ready for the Inferno Tower. Ooh, shoot. I accidentally rubbed the screen. I'm an idiot.
That's okay.
Everything's going wrong. All right.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to Battle Ram in the opposite lane now.
Cool.
And then we'll Baby Dragon over here. And then we're not going to worry about... Ooh, we are going to worry about that.
Yeah.
Well, I should get some damage, maybe.
No, that's okay.
Come on, baby dragon. It's all right. It's always an arduous process trying to teach Ash to play a deck. Okay,
you know,
but all right.
There you go. Yeah, if you have a Mega Minion, or that works out just fine too.
Yeah, he already cycled back to it. Jeez.
That was a pretty fast cycle there.
Oh man. R.I.P. Ash. R.I.P. Ash. But this is, like I say it all the time on my channel, but like this is how it is, learning a new deck, like if it was easy win every time, then
well, and for a lot of the viewers that are out there, I think it's important to realize that there's a lot of pressure when you're trying to put on a show, so to say, and trying to look at your deck and do stuff.
I can't use that excuse. I just suck.
Oh.
I'm 0-2 so far in this grand challenge. Not exactly the 10 in a row, but this is the process, honestly, for going through and learning a new deck, and I always say this, and I'm sure you do the same. You would advise the same to your viewers, but I think just like watching back is one of the most valuable things you can do. Oops, I pressed watch and not share. Let me share it so you can watch with me. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, like, I think it's, like, very valuable to just see your mistakes. Like, we know from the first match, I'm never going to defend against a graveyard like that ever again, So, just learning from your mistakes. And I think on this one, not knowing, never playing this deck, period, and then never playing against an Inferno Tower, just, like, obviously using the Battle Ram in the opposite lane, when to just sacrifice the tower. I think that was another mistake I made. I maybe over-defended at times and under-defended at times,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really just one thing, if anybody's interested in learning exactly how to use this deck and you want to practice with it, because it really is a fantastic deck, make sure you do go check out that article that I wrote.
Don't take my losses as testament.
I've got a bunch of people that are in my clans that are using the deck because it just works so well. So, but yeah, so at the very beginning, when you had that Hog Rider coming down, maybe something that I would recommend doing is actually using the baby dragon to shield those fire spirits rather than placing the Mega Minion right on top of your tower so that the fire spirits also do damage to your tower and the Mega Minion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
And then getting rid of that as well. Now,
I'm paused at 228 if you want to just sync up. I'm not sure how far you are in.
Perfect. I'm right at 151. Go ahead and let me.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go to 151 then.
Cool.
All right, so my first Pompey Fireballs, nothing's going on. Hog Rider, 151. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, perfect. So here we have this Inferno Tower that's coming right here. And what you ended up doing is you placed the baby dragon on the outside of the Pekka, which is fine. Or no, never mind. You put it right in the middle there.
It was just a second too late there.
Yeah, exactly. And what
but you would have battle rammed instead of like. You know what I had in my head is, not to blame you because it's my suckiness, but I had my bandit's gonna be my lightning. My bandit's gonna be my lightning.
Yes.
But you know what? She doesn't reset the Inferno Tower.
No, that's a good point though. That's a very good point.
Right,
but yeah, I think you were good putting down that pump right there. Right here, you ended up placing the Mega Minion, like I said. I think that in that situation, it actually would not have been a bad idea to just not defend with that Mega Minion and just let the Hog Rider just take the tower.
Yeah, it was only a hog after all. And then I had this stupid... well, luckily I have this on recording so people can see, but like I accidentally touched my iPad for the bandit there. Anyway, so I'm basically like 6 elixir down from what I should be here because I defended when I wasn't supposed to on my left tower, and then I accidentally dropped the bandit. So, could have been a little bit better there.
That's okay. And there's one other thing that I noticed. You use the when you're playing this deck and you know that your opponent has the skeleton army, it's very important to save that zap for that skeleton army. So what I saw that you did is you ended up using it against the Goblin Gang, which is an excellent way to use the zap, but the skeleton army is much more of a threat against this deck than the Goblin Gang is, because you have so much high DPS with all of your different troops that you can get rid of a Goblin Gang pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, I think that just, like you said, just having a better feel for where I need to use my zap, and obviously where to defend and where not to defend. So definitely I will take those tips to heart, and next time you see me, Kairos, I will be much better.
Dude, you're going to be a master of this. You're going to be farming those 3 crowns like nothing else.
Well, you're a much better teacher than I am a student, my friend.
Thanks.
But seriously, thank you so much for coming on, man. Anything big planned on your channel? You guys should definitely check out KairosTime. He is, as you can tell, he really knows the game well, and he's a great teacher. You're pretty cool, calm, and collected, which is great, and you just have a good way of explaining things. I think that helps everybody understand. You don't have to be the most skilled player in the world to pick up some great lessons from your channel. So, anything coming up that we should know about?
Hey, well, thank you so much for that compliment. Yeah, so I'm actually going to come out with a couple of videos that I'm calling the Strategy Guide to Clash Royale. There's going to be a video called How to Manage Elixir. Make sure you guys go check it out. See if you like it. It's not so much entertainment purposes. It's more about just helping people get better at the game. And that's really my passion. I'm not by any means an absolute top tier pro at the game, but I love Clash Royale so much, and I want to help other people get better at it. So make sure you guys come check out my channel. I do some streams every week. So and guys, if you love Ash, give this video a thumbs up, man. He's awesome.
Oh God. Thanks, Kairos. Thanks,
hey,
man.
No problem.
Well, thanks again for coming on, guys. I will see you next time you tune in. I just want to give another tremendous shout out to KairosTime YouTube channel. Check him out. Thank you again for coming on, Kairos. And huge shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. You can find his information in the description below. Daily tournaments, giveaways, and much, much more. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, take care, guys.